Over the past 5 years, I've created dozens of ads that were able to spend $100,000 or more profitably on Facebook ads. In today's video, I want to give you 5 great tips for your hooks that you can use today to improve your ads and to create your first $100,000 ad. So I would say, let's get right into it. So 5 tips to double your hook rate, the art of creating $100,000 creative. Let's get into it. Number 1, the first hook that I want to show you, pretty popular nowadays, but I think it's a great hook nevertheless. I think you can, if you use it on your existing creatives and just add a split screen to your best performer, you will probably, double your hook rate. So let me give you an example. My hair doesn't feel like it was dyed. You have the before and after. I don't recommend doing that because you have to be careful with doing before and afters on Facebook. But it shows you why this hook is so effective. You have basically 2 screens, more motion going on, more visuals to get people hooked in. And you obviously you can put a review at the top. You can put your main benefit statement at the top. That does not really matter. Use what's best or what has worked best for you in the past. But it's super simple to create, and you don't need any extra footage. You don't need anything else. And just more visually appealing, and that's why I think this hook in particular performs super well for all of our clients. And we've spent over $50 million on Facebook ads, and this is one hook that we usually always try out, especially with winning creatives. If they've if they've flattened the curve, if they're not performing as great as they used to be, then this is usually a very great thing to start. Then the next hook that I want to show you is the green screen effect. It's also super simple to do, and let me just show you the hook. And especially, you can do this in CapCut. You just go to import your video into CapCut, and then you have the effect of a green screen. You can just remove the background. It's super easy. You don't need a green screen really to have to do that effect. And I just wrote there's something native to it, and that's kind of true. If you scroll through TikTok, you see these kind of green screen effects every now and then just popping up in your newsfeed, and there really is something visually native to it that make people not really think about this as an ad, more of a content piece that they just see on their For You page. I've fallen a victim of that. I've seen ads where I really didn't know that it was an ad at first, and that's one of them. That's usually working pretty well for our clients, and that's again the green screen effect. There's not much going on. I think I have more to say over that for the next couple of hooks. But definitely give that hook a shot. It's not as strong as the split screen in my opinion, but it's definitely a good starting point because you also have more stuff going on. Especially if usually I would center I would put the person on the bottom right or left right, but she's even in the center, which makes it, and she's moving her arms around, so there's even more motion going on, and that's what's essentially getting people hooked in. And then the next one that we have right here is the reverse hook. Self-explanatory in itself in some ways, and it's basically, you play this video, you just basically do something reverse, and then you go to your starting point, and then you let the video play from there. So you have the reverse hook, boom, 1 second, and then you just play the normal video, and basically going again over the reverse part. You can also add a reverb sound to it, this basically video effect, sound effect, where it's just you know what I mean. I hope you do know what I mean. But that's another great hook that you can leverage today. You don't need any extra footage for it. That's why it's so great. You can just go to existing hook, reverb it or reverse it, and then have the normal video. And I'm sure that this will boost your hook rate, and obviously with the hopes of that increasing your CPA as well. And then the next one is something weird. I didn't really know how to call it, but these are the ones which are performing extremely well and at scale. So if you want to create a $100,000 creative like we do, by the way, if you are interested in having a creative, or if we do creatives for you, that is paying at least $100,000 or more on Facebook ads, then you can go to the first link in the description and just book a free audit call. But if you want to create them on your own, this is the way to go. Something weird. What is something totally not, what is your audience totally not expecting when they see your ad? For example, we work with an underwear brand and they're selling boxers, obviously. And what we do is, we have hooks where the people are just wearing undies, just boxes, nothing else, and then they do some weird movement, they jump around, they run in the undies, something like that. And that's obviously, people don't see that often, and then they get hooked in this way. Why is this guy in undies? I got a few more examples. First of all, let's take a look at this one. This is also something weird, but also visually appealing. It's just this milk stirrer, basically. This actually melts away my stress and anxiety at night. You see, there's no real product seen in the video, but here it says melts and kind of correlates to the video. What the text says is basically being done in the video, and that's why it's so great. But I have other examples. For example, let's say you have waterproof makeup, for example. Why don't you do a hook where somebody jumps into the water, then you do a reverse effect where she's basically coming out again, and you benefits in this. We have waterproof makeup. Boom. I think this would make a fantastic hook. Obviously, you have to think creatively here. This is not something that you're gonna find in the ads library from your competitors, because most of them are not doing it. So you really have to be creative and think about something that you have never seen before, because that's what you want to do. You have to be super creative. Maybe like take a few hours off and just go for a walk and think about how you could basically sell your product with something weird or like unusual. Also, let's say you sell dirt-proof or waterproof shoes. Jumping into a puddle, you have the splash effect. It's super dirty. Everybody's like, oh, why is he making the shoes dirty? And then you'd be like, the shoes aren't dirty because they are dirt-proof. Boom. This would make another fantastic hook. Again, you have to think creatively. Something weird can also be kind of exchanged with like something visually or like satisfying. So the satisfying hook, like kind of basically squeezing pimples. You can't really look away when somebody's squeezing pimples, and this is how you have to, this is something similar to that. It's just so visually appealing and somewhat satisfying that you can't really like scroll past it, because you just want to keep watching it, basically, and that's what you have to create. Either something weird or something oddly satisfying. I would probably call it oddly satisfying. The last hook that I want to go over today is, watch this person do X in 5 seconds. I know it sounds stupid, and it's also stupid to some extent, but let me show you the hook, and you're going to be amazed at how easy it is to create great hooks if you just be a little bit creative. I found this video on Twitter, and it's basically watch this guy literally jump into these shoes. Like, there's nothing really fancy going on. You tell the audience what's going to happen, you add like a little countdown timer, and then this guy jumps into the shoes, and then the video goes on with explaining the benefits of the actual shoes. And I think these are shoes that are you don't need to like, you can just jump into them and they will fit. That's the benefit statement, and usually this fits very well to the brand. But maybe other idea to kind of do this. Watch this person apply the best makeup ever. Obviously, do different value proposition, but watch this girl apply the best makeup ever in 5 seconds. And you just have like a still frame, wait 5 seconds until the person is applying the makeup. Boom, you have a fantastic hook. Again, start with a still frame. That's super important. Have a countdown timer that really counts down, so people have still something going on in the video, right? And then tell them exactly what's going to happen. Be clear, be upfront, don't hide anything. Watch this person eat with a stick in 5 seconds, and then maybe your product is, I don't know, something with sticks that make you eat better. I don't know. Think about it. What's your product doing? What could a person do with your product? And then just add a still frame and your countdown timer before it. Again, it's super good. Hake, obviously hook. The art of this one is, and that's why I put it on number 5, is to make it enticing after the hook. Obviously, watch this guy literally jump into these shoes in 5 seconds is a great hook. But after these 5 seconds, how do you keep people hooked? How do you get them to watch the rest of the video? Because it's super clickbaity in some way, and the other ones are like easy. You don't have to do as much, because, for example, let's take a look at the green screen effect. 4 reasons to try Magic Spoon. Reason 1, reason 2, reason number 3, reason number 4. Boom, you're gone. But with this one, you really need to kind of start again at the hook at some, in some point to really get them, keep them hooked in. And that's the art of this creative. That's why I named it. Put it in kind of the last place, because you have to be really creative with it. But yeah, those were my top 5 top 5 hooks to create a $100,000 creative. And if you want to learn more about creating creatives that spend at least $100,000 or more, you can either go into the first link in the description and book a call right now and have us do it for you, or you can just subscribe, and I'll be putting more free content out every week, with the hopes of having you create your first $100,000 creative, because this unlocks growth and scale on Facebook like nothing else.